Hey guys, good evening.
Yeah, hi. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're audible. Everyone's you are comfortable in terms of your audio visual, everything is looking good, comfortable?
Yeah, looks good.
Great. So it's 5 o'clock on the dot. So
Yeah.
Atul, with your permission, we can start off. Right. We also have a few viewers. So good evening, everyone. This is Vijetha Shastry here. And thank you so much to the audience for joining in. It's a pleasure and delight to have you all guys here. And I think I see that both Vikram is here and Dr. Kunal is also here. Though Dr. Kunal is showing as Vijetha Shastri himself. I don't know. I think he's clicked on my link. And we're going to have Jagat as well coming in. So this is Startup Saturday. This is Startup Sunday, and all about the innovation, the challenges, the informal boardroom, where founders will be talking about what they are facing, how they are growing, and what are they doing in this current scenario to still survive, thrive, and raise funding, etc., etc., etc. Okay. So without delaying further, I would love to have Vikram. Vikram, if you'd like to start, introduce yourself, talk about what you're up to and your startup, please.
Yeah. Before that, should I just share my screen as well?
Yeah, please go for it. Share the screen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me know when you can see my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, sure. So, hi guys. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to talk today. My name is Vikram, and I'm co-founder of Hypermine. Before I get into the product, I would just like to talk a little bit about background about how we started. Our story starts back in 2018 and 19 when me and my brother Vishwas, who is also the co-founder of Hypermind, we got 6 time Facebook requests from our father. And when we asked him what was the issue, we got to know that he kept on forgetting his password. And because he is not tech savvy, so he doesn't know how to reset his password, all to write to Facebook to change and whatnot. He kept on just creating new accounts. So we thought, like, if this problem is with him, probably there are more people like him who has the same issue. So we thought this is a consumer issue and we can address it. We built some very basic POC, proof of concept, using some cryptography, and we took part in many hackathons which was related with security back in 2018 and 19. And that is that when I can say that our entrepreneurship journey actually began, when we won around like 6 or 7 of the hackathons, right, one by one after other. So we got to know that this issue is not just a consumer problem. This is much more bigger issue for enterprise and for service provider or whoever owns a website and he's using password, and that is like that is so insecure. And we did some more research on that, and we got to know that 65% of people reuse password across multiple websites. Like, I will use the same password in many different websites. 80% of data breaches in 2019 were caused due to password compromise. Almost like 91% of people, they know that password is a problem, but they are still okay with using that anyways. And the worst of all this, 42% of the companies that were breached in 2019 was due to bad password. 42% is almost saying that 50% of all the hacks that happened was because of password. So what we can see that this whole password problem is actually categorized in 3 major categories. One is reusing the same password across multiple applications. For example, I use the same password that I use in my bank to also in some social media app. Though bank will implement very good security, they cannot be hacked. Agreed to that. But it doesn't mean the same password which was used in a social media application, it is not going to hacked also. So hackers, they try to look for applications that are not secure. They hack on that applications. They get the password hashes from there. Then they call it something called dictionary attack and use that to attack to banking or financial application. So the biggest of all this is something called honeypot. which means usually in our siloed system that the application development we have been taught to, we use all the passwords and user information at one place, and that is what becomes honeypot for attackers. And so these are the challenges, problems that we saw across the industry, and that is why we thought of building Hypersign. Hypersign is actually very simple to use authentication solution. It provides passwordless authentication, verification services for enterprise. Uh, how it works is very simple. You, as a user, you onboard yourself on our wallet authenticator. It can be a web wallet, or it can be a mobile wallet. Whenever you want to log into a website, you see a QR code or a button there. You scan the QR code. A digital signature is verified over uh, blockchain and our auth server, and user is onboarded. So that's about it. Like, in nutshell, that is how the whole application works. Over to you, Vijeta sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vikram. So, Vikram, may I ask a few questions about this? Is that I asked you this? No, I think you're not. You have some small funding. Are you funded, bootstrapped, customer money? What's your story?
Yeah, so we have small funding, like $50,000 have been funded by some East European company, and we have one or two customers who, where I actually worked before previously, I convinced them to use my product internally to for their employees to log in. As I told you, it is a SSO platform. It can be integrated in any enterprise SSO. So if you already have a login system like LDAP or Active Directory, so I can be able to help you integrate passwordless in that. So yeah, so that is where we stand at this point. I'm looking for more proof of MVPs on the other end. For example, we are working on an authenticator for Shopify, so that would be very interesting to see how Shopify owners show interest to this. So yeah.
Interesting. So I see that you're taking big names, Shopify and everything. Fantastic.
Shopify is just a platform. Anyone can develop
Okay,
plugins for that.
good, good. So hope you're growing and hope you're thriving. That's what really matters, Vikram.
Yeah, thank
Okay.
you.
And any demo that you want to show us, Vikram, or do you want to show that later? How do you want to do that?
I can show that in later after
Okay,
everybody.
ठीक है. Just keep that ready. And
Yeah,
remember, you can also talk about your company. We're putting the link over here. You can share your LinkedIn profile, whatever you want to do. Okay,
sure.
take advantage of this. So now, may I ask Dr. Kunal, would you like to talk about your very interesting organization, right? The meatless product that you're building. So we would love to know more about it. And whatever you'd like to present, also, Dr. Kunal, please go for it. Please.
Okay, okay, just sharing my screen now.
Is he stuck? I think Dr. Kunal, you're stuck. We can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, now we can see your screen. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so
Speak a little louder, Kunal. Yeah, speak louder.
good evening to all of you. So as you are aware, yeah, I can. So very good evening to all of you. So as you are aware that plant-based meat is all the rage in the world right now. But do you know that it uses genetically modified yeast to produce the major flavorants, that is heme? So starting in 2017, our team devised a found out a non-GMO microalgae by screening around 20 microalgae from nearby sea, and now have a particular strain which can produce heme, which is the major flavorant in all non uh, in all plant-based meat products at a very high amount. So we leased land at coastal Puri and standardized the growing and isolation processes. Also, what we have done is that we have trained the local workforce. So these are basically fishermen who are work in that particular area, and they are subsistence fishermen. So we are actually providing them with a essential skill to be employable, and by that we are also securing our production, and we are also right now we are able to produce heme at a very high quantities right now. So this is at scale. So as you can see, this is heme, which is the dried protein and also the liquid concentrate. We have aligned with several business and plant-based meat production organizations. So So this is GFI and CIE Co. Recently, we are selected by Royal Academy of Engineering. So they are now helping us to prototype. So basically, in India, the issue is that majority of equipment that is required to produce plant-based meat is not available. So I'm actually proud that FemtoFarad is the first company in India which has built all of its systems right from prototype extruders to the automation of the microalgae growing process to extraction in-house. So this is one of our patent images. So this is now the basic process of fabrication where we can dry and extrude the plant protein and also the flavoring. These we can shape into different meatloafs, patty, also the chicken leg. We also hold a patent to make a vegan bone. So that is something that is unique to our product. So this is something that we can do, and therefore we can shape our plant-based meat into a chicken leg. Uh, Now, all of these products are organoleptically tested by experts, and they match very closely to the taste of meat, as in traditional meat. And also, these products are cooking stable because in India you require this process to go through all the rigors of cooking of Indian cuisine styles. So this is all doable in born meat line. So you take any of our products, you can cook it at home. So we are, as of now, we are bootstrapped, but several of the technologies that are being used in our current systems are being have been winning in several hackathons that we have participated over the years. So right now, where we stand is that the R&D and the prototyping is already done for this process. So we can isolate him. We can also fabricate the different kinds of chicken mimicking products. So these are plant-based chicken meat analogs. So we have also done a small testing right now in Odisha because of this COVID. We could not travel to Bangalore and other places. So one of my colleagues, Anshuman, is now in Bangalore, and we will be wanting to put up a beta testing there. The issue in India is twofold. The first is that there is lack of access to prototyping facilities. Now, IKP Eden in Bangalore has a very good facility, and we are accessing that. But it's quite slow to get the initial products in the initial input materials in to fabricate a whole product, to fabricate a whole basically a machine. So that is something that we are limited by, and also funding. So India, the startup funding seems to be a little bit risk averse. So till the time the R&D is already not established, people are not willing to come up and fund you. So this is something that we are now really looking for, because right now we need funding to get it to the next level. We have around 3,000 units per week production capacity, and we really need to scale it up. So that is where we stand now, and I think I'm really thankful to Vijetha sir and also Ashutosh sir to promote us through this platform, and it's really wonderful to be here. So any questions that you have, I'm happy to answer.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Kunal. It's a very interesting thing, and really nice to see the fact that you have been growing. You're taking part in hackathons, and that's a wonderful thing. Just make sure that your mic is in a better condition, okay, so that your visuals and audio can match up, and you can tell your story better. Okay, so just figure that part out. And now I would love to call Jagat. Jagat is the co-founder of the Vidphone, the wonderful platform that we are using right now, by the way. And Jagat, you're the hustler, you're the man. So, what's your story, sir?
Hi, Vijetha. Good evening, and good evening, Dr. Kunal and Vikram. Thanks for coming down. I think let's see. I hope we have a very nice 1 hour. So, what's our story? I think my thing is I do this every week. So, what I will do is I will again share my screen, and my thing is like every week I share the issues. So, let me just share my screen. Right. So, very quickly, what is Vidphone? So, Vidphone, we call it the virtual office for remote work. So basically, it's a video-first remote work platform. So what does this remote work platform mean? It's basically a customer and employee engagement center, right, for your office, basically for your employees and your customers. We could take a look at it. I think some people may have already taken a look. So I'll just get to, I'll just cover my the challenges, Vijetha, here.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah. So I think this will be very relevant, because I think generally we also every week we have founders. And our goal is always in co-creation, right? To be able to build the kind of platform with startup founders. I think everybody knows today that video is the number one way of doing business, right? Remote, and uh, doing ad hoc meetings, do not really work. So what we have is like a complete, video funnel that any salesperson or any startup founder can actually start implementing very soon, right? So one is this co-creation of this roadmap, which I think we would like to do with founders. The second is, of course, the community and the ecosystem development, right? So we always are going to increase the participants on our on our events, the panelists, the WhatsApp group founders feed. So I think these are a couple of areas where we probably want some kind of inputs and feedback. Yeah.
Fantastic, Jagat. So it's a very interesting situation that we have today. Three very, very, very diverse founders. Okay, I mean, one is into food, uh, substituting meat, and his challenges about climate control and supply chain and adoption and everything. And then we have Jagat, who I mean, I must say, Jagat, the kind of that virtual office concepts, everything that your team has been building, they look very good, and it's something that we at TIE Bangalore also will definitely look at adopting. And then Vikram, a little bit of cyber security. You're helping senior citizens who are not so net savvy to make sure that they don't end up doing something crazy on social media, which is detrimental to them. So honestly, guys, how are you going to put in some inputs for each other? This is going to be very interesting. You'll have each understood that what you are trying to do. And Vikram, I think what you also want is community, more adoption. You want to make sure that users are willing to pay you. Like
Yeah.
that's your revenue model, right? Ultimately, users have to pay. Jagat, for you as well, users have to pay. Dr. Kunal, it's also about a bit of infrastructure and adoption, and considering that it's also a lot of temperatures and climate and other things are a very vital factor in your production, etc., and distribution. So we have three very unique problems. So guys, whoever wants to bell the cat first and think through what can the other person do to grow, solve their challenges for building community and getting paid customers. So I put that ball back into each of you guys, and whoever wants to go first.
I think one of either Dr. Kunal or
And
Vikram. I mean, go ahead, guys. Yeah.
I thought Jagat would be able to, initiate it because he observed.
Ah, you guys are getting very smart in passing the buck.
No, I'm not passing the buck. Look, I always, that this is our
Yeah, you're
platform.
the QSU, yeah. Jagat is kind of the host. You're on his platform, man. He can just
I'm
close
the
out if
host.
he
So,
wants.
yeah. Okay, what about
Let
Dr.
me
Kunal?
take
Why
a
don't
let,
you-
yeah. Kunal, if you'd like to go first.
Yes. So I think right now, especially in Bangalore, so we would like to do a small pilot. So I'd like to know if there can be any kind of customers that maybe platforms where we can position our product. So that will be quite helpful for us actually.
I'm happy to take that, Dr. Kunal. Definitely, you can look at it. You're, I think, looking at B2C, right? I think that's your model. Directly end customers, right? Or are you selling to B2B?
Yes. So how we want to position it is that we want to start a cloud kitchen. So we want to position it to different maybe institutions, maybe startup where people are hosted, where we have a workforce that is coming every day and they need to have a lunch. So this will be like a food packet. This will be like a lunch box using all plant-based meat products. So that is something that we will position in the next 2 months or so. In that time, if we can have connections with organizations over in Bangalore, that would be very helpful.
Maybe
Yeah,
Vijetha, Beehive could be one of the option. I
Hey
mean,
guys, I'm actually sitting in Beehive, by the way. Yeah,
yeah, I know that.
we're sitting in Beehive because there's a big event that we're working with them at from Thai Bangalore ecosystem community event. So that's why I'm here on a Sunday. But yeah. So we can see. Look, if I'm representing Thai and we want to help the community and the ecosystem, Jagat knows this. And Dr. Kunal, what you're doing is something that is very environmental friendly. And the very fact that you have been recognized and winning hackathons with Skill India, with Boeing, and I want to get more details from you. And of course, a shout out to Ashutosh Jagat. Ashutosh really requires a recommendation because he has helped us so much in introducing great founders, and he's also helping us with those knowledge sessions. So
startup
definitely,
story.
we will help. I mean, I will do a separate way of maybe creating a blog. Jagat will figure out some other things for Dr. Kunal also,
Sure. I think
right?
definitely they're
Yeah.
very good market as well.
Yeah.
Of course, we can't do the deal today right now. We'll connect probably early this week.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
I think maybe Monday, Tuesday. I think sometime if you can just drop me a text or drop Vijetha also a text. Let's kind of sync up. Maybe we'll just connect on a video call like this.
Yeah.
Kind of brainstorm. What say, sir? If you're up for
Yes,
it.
definitely. Definitely.
One thing, Kunal,
Wonderful.
I would recommend is that, see, today with the remote world, right? Getting out there, and you're the founder CEO, I think. So I think most important that people know you, know your brand. I think that's what even I'm working with Vijetha as well. And I think for all the startup founders, right? I think including even Vikram. I mean, it's not about selling Vidphone, right? I mean, it's really about what the market's about today. There is no office. The offline, the larger businesses, it's kind of there's a leveling out that's happened, right? So really important that we're doing some kind of webinar, some kind of series where, Kunal, I think you should have some awareness drive that you're doing. Just prepare some simple, half an hour module, build up your tribe, build your community. That's, I think, critical. And I think your thing is going to have a lot of, I mean, you can even look at guys who are gone vegan and, various other things, right? Gone turned vegetarian. And I think that's really a good thing. So I think spread the message out. I think even with Vikram, and I think we were discussing quickly about Auth0 some time back, right? I think that, webinars today are the only way to reach out to people. And trust me, it's what I've also read, and I told Vijetha also, we are also doing webinars almost every week, right? Like multiple webinars. And trust me, the kind of audience, the kind of community that we're able to build, I think it's a good start, right? We've got off to a pretty good start there. Costs you nothing, right?
Yeah.
Costs you absolutely nothing. That's the main thing. I mean, it might cost you a small monthly fee, SaaS, 1,000 rupees. That really doesn't matter. But nothing like a big marketing budget, right? It's your content. It's really you as a founder, your mission, and the people kind of getting in sync with your mission, right? That's really what we should be doing. So happy to connect. We'll build out some kind of a theme or a campaign also, and that's one way that I can help both of you. Yeah.
And Dr. Kunal, are you in Odisha? Where are you based out of, Dr. Kunal?
Yeah, based out of Odisha, yes.
Odisha. Okay.
Now,
Good.
right now in Puri.
Yeah. Got it. Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Kunal. Now, Vikram, would you like to say something for Jagat and Dr. Kunal?
I mean, see, I don't know how I can help them because honestly, I think I need a lot of help. So I'll be so.
That's not allowed. That's not allowed. You have to wear your hat, helping hat, paid forward hat.
Okay, so I could quickly think for Dr. Kunal sir. I mean, I told you Beehive could be one of the place where we say things like how, I mean, so there are so many co-working startups and they have pantries, and I've seen other people doing that. Like whenever they have some sort of food, new food stuff coming in, so they come and package and try to explain us about that could be one way that I think. And other one, I mean, uh, I think this there is one meat company. I keep forgetting their name because I'm trying to eat less meat. And so this company, they did really well. Now they are everywhere in India. I'm sure Dr. Kunal knows about them.
Is it delicious?
Yeah, Alicious. Yes. So, I mean, maybe looking at their packaging, how they started, and then what model they changed. Now they are completely into different model. So, a lot of, as he was saying, talking about cloud kitchen. So maybe that is a good option. So, I mean, I could think all these things out of, I mean, right now. I don't know if I can. Maybe I need to think about.
Sure. Fair enough. See, look, one thing that we encourage over here, Vikram, is stay in touch beyond the session. Okay, you're a
Yeah.
part of the what the WhatsApp group they call Founders Feed. We have what I think Jagat. What's the count now? 150 founders, I think around. Yeah, it's 150. Yeah, it's 150 plus thing. And then we make sure that we help each other, we support each other, we evangelize each other, because that's what matters. TIE remains a platform. I mean, that's what we try to do. Yes, we are also connected with a lot of accelerators. We're connected with government of Karnataka and other things, that so that wherever we can support founders, we'll try to do our best. Okay, that's a promise. And of course, as Jagat said, video sales, remote sales, all that kind of stuff is very, very nice. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Great. And now, Jagat, what do you think that Vikram, what kind of things can we do for him?
I think one, as I said, there is, I think, there are two sides to, I think, his business. One is the technical, the platform itself, the whole authentication. That's something that, independently, I think he has the expertise and he can probably do it. But really, I think where we come in, and not only, myself and what we do at Vidphone also, is really about helping startup founders and startups appeal to new audiences and enterprises, right? Be able to reach out to those new enterprise customers or developers who you may want to kind of get through. So I think one is that, I think we need to be a little aggressive on the marketing. I think that's something that, Vijetha, also we keep discussing, is that we don't talk enough about our products, on platforms. So I think that's one thing that, Vikram, probably your own, social media, email list, stuff like that. But also feel free to try out, the platform where you can try out the webinars, try out the video chat integration on your website, so that if people visit your website, they can actually click video call you or your team. You can screen share and run them through any issues. A lot of use cases, right, where you can really get close to your customers. I think that's two. But I think I need to have a detailed look at the platform once. Probably I'll go through and.
Yeah, sure. I can.
I think it's kind of. I think you must really think of the revenue model, right? I mean that's something that when you're looking at a sign-on service. I mean, are you looking to expand? Or you're trying to just keep it focused on the sign-on?
In future, definitely expand. So honestly, okay, now you have asked me the question. The actual product is not login. The actual product is to manage identity, control your identity by yourself, not a third party. This is what is our vision. But I cannot sell that. There is no way you can sell this. I cannot go and talk to someone and say, hey, look, I have a parallel system to Aadhaar. Would you buy it? No, that is not how you sell it. So idea behind that is that try to reach out to problem which is actually a business problem at this point. So that is why we choose password, removing password across. But how it is better than or maybe different than existing, like you said, auth 0 or Okta, is that it is privacy first. Auth 0 and Okta all works on OAuth protocol. OAuth protocol makes sure that every time IDP becomes identity provider, becomes the sole controller of the whole ecosystem. So literally OAuth 0 or Okta, if they want, can stop all the applications that are using them. In our case, that doesn't work like that. In our case, the relationship is always with the user like me who wants to log into a website and the website. As Hypersign third party, we do not have any control on these accesses. We do not know where all you are accessing. What we allow is a privacy first platform where all the system will work exactly like how Auth 0 and Okta is providing, but basically more privacy and less chances of having getting too much control on one side. So that is how we have thought on. So that is another challenge. Actually, I would like to talk about the challenges, if you don't mind, Vijetha. Right?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, please, please.
Yeah. So there are only two challenges that I feel. One is on the marketing and how to reach to business. I think this is all interrelated. In removing the passwords, there are two major protocols that are fighting currently. One is FIDO, which is centralized, and another one is self-sovereign identity. We are blockchain guys, so we are more focused on sovereign identity side, and we built our protocol bit hybrid right now because we don't know if we can actually sell privacy, right? I mean, you can sell, but we don't know. So our idea was that to build somewhere in between and see what market would like. So for example, Microsoft is pushing FIDO quite a bit, and all the other members of the World W3C Foundation, they are pushing sovereign more. So before the standards are widely accepted, that is also one of the challenges, that our standard is not well accepted in the market yet. But maybe you can give me some ideas on that. What do you suggest? That is one challenge, and the other one is people being aware about that passwords are a problem. So like you, Jagat, suggested, doing lot of online this sort of calls would definitely help in. So maybe now you guys can tell me. So these are my quite a bit of a challenge at this point.
Yeah, Jagat, go ahead. Any of you guys?
I mean, I just want to understand, Vikram, like how long you've been running this thing, Hypersign?
No, no. We recently finished the implementation of the protocol, and we implement like it's been 4 to 5 months since we are testing the MVP.
No, I just want to be really honest and at the same time try and give you constructive feedback, right? I mean, please understand that everything that I'm saying is so that the business will do well, right? But I think
Yeah.
one thing you must do is, I think you need to have some kind of a small pivot in the program in your product, because I really don't see there are two problems here. Then let's try and understand this. Security is something that no one wants to try a new thing in security.
Okay. Yeah.
Right? It's just something that I want something that I know works, and because there's IT departments, you have to get off sign off from InfoSec. You cannot. I don't think if you're trying to do an enterprise sale, and I think you will be doing enterprise B2B, right?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a real tough sell. My view, because what's the pain point, right? What are businesses right now wanting to do? Do they really want to change their auth in their platform right now? Do you feel that's like a real pain point? My thing is just think about that. Because even when I saw Auth Zero, because I was, really excited, 2016, I was really excited about Auth Zero. I think they were doing a really good job, right? Because we were doing Django registration with us, OAuth 2, all that stuff, but then this was just so different, right? I think you need to have some kind of, add-on. See, and identity management is good, right? I'm good with that whole calling it identity management security. That's fine. It's not just an auth. I get that because that's what even auth says. Auth Zero also is about identity, so that's fine. So look at how you can bring some kind of a band-aid solution right now, because I think this is a vitamin. It's my honest feedback on this, so that you can move fast, right? You can try and still sell it. Probably one of them you can. Yeah, I think one thing you can do, Vikram, is try and sell this. Like have some customer discovery calls, on video, and you can run them through the platform and stuff. But really try and do something that one either makes them money or cuts cost. This I think is what businesses only pay for. Even productivity is like a distant third, right? I don't think people really care about productivity.
Yeah.
Security, and if you're selling it, I don't know, if you're doing SaaS and US market, you can find some early customers, right? I feel if you have a SaaS, maybe I don't know what's your pricing, $50, $100, or per sign on, per usage you can price it. But you can't look at India. I can just tell you, I've spoken to enough businesses here. It's going to be tough.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, identity management is really important. Don't get me wrong, okay? Because I really believe now when you see the way Google and the antitrust issues are happening, Indian privacy laws coming up, so much of issue, right? So over the next 2 years, 2 years, you will see that identity management is a really important thing. And you will have the system where it's a kind of local system, like, there is one interface here, and then it's kind of, there is a key value pair kind of system, and then it's interacting with the server. It will be coupled, okay? Because it will be masked, right? There'll be no interaction directly. But I think those kind of lines, if we can start doing, but even then, I think as a standalone, I think it's a really tough sell, Vikram. My 2 cents is that try and add on some stuff onto that. Can you do something, in the physical office space, video identity, RFID also, even if you have to just add a kind of physical product, just as a packaging in, right? As a solution. Not only your website identity, but also your office identity. I mean, something there that you can package and sell as a product.
Got it.
That is something to think
Basically,
about.
You are asking us to figure out what could be an easy sell than actually, because there are too many people already in the identity space. Also, it's quite
crowded. And identity is something that you want, something that's like patented, or there's something really solid. Because if you want to implement this with large companies, and who's going to take that decision, right? It's typically going to be the IT.
Yeah.
It's not marketing, sales, or anything. So it's IT. Yeah. And then IT will need to kind of convince all these guys that, hey, this is a new startup, new protocol, and we got to bet them. So you'll have to do a POC, prove it. I think that's a tough sell. Look at something that you can add to kind of, give a better packaging, I feel. Because just selling security stuff, I think, in India. My 2 cents.
No,
right?
I agree.
I think after you move, because you have a lot of background with blockchain and identity management, so take it constructively and just see if you can build out, or at least do a customer discovery calls, like do 20 calls, like where you can understand. One is you do it intuitively. Like I don't always do discovery calls. Like sometimes we do things like fairly intuitively. But if you really want to check, maybe get some head of IT and digital transformation guys, 20 numbers, and just tell them, hey, do you have a problem with your identity management? How can you do better, right? Your login and all that stuff, and try and find out what's bothering them. Maybe it's cross operability, right, across their different platforms, that they want to have kind of a consistent auth across their platform. These could be areas, but try and augment is my 2 cents. That's thanks.
Uh, Thank you very much. Like, it was really valuable. I think it makes definitely sense to for us to probably figure out what could be our niche. At
And it's
least
early, 5 months. It is 5 months, so I think do it now. And I just want to be really constructive, right? I think, as I said, it's a really good space. I like your site also, but as a standalone, I think it will be a tough sell. You will be kind of running into walls all the time.
yeah, I mean, I'm not looking at it as a standalone because, as I told you, it integrates with existing auth providers like Okta or Auth0. I'm not going against Okta or Auth0. It is just, even right now, if you want to integrate passwordless in Okta or Auth0, you end up paying some third-party company for that plugin for passwordless. So I am right now just fitting myself with that other third party. So, for example, you already have Okta or Auth0 integrated in yours across organization. All you have now, you need passwordless. So either you build it yourself and add as authenticator in Okta, or you buy a third party. So that is where I wanted to compare ourselves. Like, as Hypersign could also be one of the options that you can integrate. And similarly, but I'm only focused. I was only focused so far on the web. Not, I didn't want it to go on the hardware side yet. But you gave me some perspective. Maybe I can think about it, and I can see if
It was just an idea, right? I'm not saying that that's the only model. I'm just saying something different, or something that goes with your identity story, but something that you can give as a tangible product that they pay for. It's just kind of disguised in. So
Definitely.
that's probably one thing. Yeah, just my views, right? Again, take it constructively.
No, absolutely. I mean, agree to
What you need to validate very specifically is whether really people want to change this passwordless, whether they want passwordless. I think that's the first thing you're kind of validate with about 30 customer calls, because that's not something you take intuitively. We were looking at, like, for example, here also, like in case Vidphone, we have this user sign up login stuff. For a long time, we just want to get video auth. So the moment you're a registered user, you just hit the website and you're taken in straight. Right? Something that will come up. That will be a great idea also. Facial would be a great way to do it in case, because it's really disruptive. It's an experience thing, right?
Yeah.
Experience. Something like that.
Okay. Cool. I mean, it was definitely helpful. I'm going to take it as a constructive feedback and try to share it with my team and see what they have to say about it. And
so, Vikram, how big is your team right now?
It's just me, my brother, and another co-founder, Irfan. So I think we are good package, designer, developer, full stack developer. So that's
okay. And who does the sales for you as such? Who talks to customers, potential customers?
Yeah, it's me and my co-founder Irfan. He's the business guy, so he does all the sales.
Okay, interesting, very interesting.
Yes,
I think
sorry, Vijetha, sorry.
Yeah,
I just said, Vikram, feel free to shoot back. I mean, give me your comments. What do you see in terms of video? How will you use it? How can we kind of can we add some features that you may want to use? But
yeah,
please let me know.
Yeah, sure.
So, I mean, that's your feedback, Vikram, for Jagat. Like, you've seen the platform, you've seen, I think he had posted something on virtual office also. And Dr. Kunal, you're sitting in Odisha. How are you going to sell to, all the retail chains, for example, in Bangalore, right? You have, Bangalore, Bombay, Delhi are the big retail chains. So what is the PR? What is the marketing that we're going to use? How are we going to do remote sales? How do you send samples across? How are you tackling all
Yes.
this?
Yeah. So actually in Odisha, what we are manufacturing is basically the flavorant. So the flavorant is only 2% of the total weight of the whole product. So what we are thinking of doing, and what we have done till now in Bangalore is that we ship the flavorant from Odisha to Bangalore, and in Bangalore we have set up a small kitchen. So there, the whole product is manufactured. So like if you have the chicken leg, the whole of the chicken leg is made over there. Only the flavorants go from Odisha to there, and they are integrated into it. So what it does is that matlab, it moves us away from the cold chain system, because we can manufacture on site, and we can manufacture as much as required. Because if today we require 1,000 units, so we can manufacture 1,000 units, and if tomorrow we require 3,000, we can go up to 3,000. So our inventory costs are limited by this, and the flavorant that we manufacture, we also stabilize it. So when we send it from here, it is stable in room temperature. So we do not need any cold chain for the transport of the flavorant. So, and importantly, the flavorant, though it is only 2% of the total weight, it costs around 40% of the total cost of the product is the flavorant. So that is how we see how we can expand it from here in Odisha to all over India. That is how we see our product expanding.
Good, good, Kunal. And how are you doing your white? I mean, are you writing blogs? Are you guys writing some white papers, health benefits? What is it that you are doing to educate the people? Because that's very
We
important.
are right now, we just got out of the R&D phase and we did a small pilot. And what we found is that in India, people are not that much into this plant-based meat and this whole space. So it first of all, we changed our product so that it can be cooked at home. So majority of India, a lot of people want to cook at home. So our product are cooking stable, so that took a lot of time to get to that place. So that is something we looked at, and now what we are looking at in the next month or so, we'll start the campaign. And I think this particular Vidphone platform is also, if Jagat can tell us how to, we can use it to propagate information around, because initially the information has to be spread around that this is a healthy substitute to whatever you're eating, and that has to be it is something that is not one time. It has to be put into the customers and the people and the whole population multiple times. It has to be hammered into them. So that will take a lot of platforms and lot of yeah, lot of this thing.
Yeah, you got to make the right kinds of noise, right? To be, you have to remember that
Yeah,
there's a
yeah,
choice, there's an option. They have to hunt for
yeah.
it whenever whether they're ordering online or they're ordering from a supermarket or they're physically shopping. They have to remember that an option like this is there, isn't it? That's what matters.
Yeah, also it has to be put out that this is something that you include in your diet. It's like a monthly diet plan, and on that you have this for 7 days a week or so. Because what essentially happens is people try it and they're like, okay, this is nice, and then they switch back to chicken or meat or whatever they're eating
Correct.
initially. So then
Yeah,
it does not give us a consistent
yeah, yeah.
customer base.
Yeah, and I guess you need a lot of, you need influencers like nutritionists, diet
Yeah,
planners,
yeah,
dietitians,
yeah,
fitness
yeah,
trainers, all those kind of people also have to be on your
yeah,
side.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, very nice, very
So that
nice.
is a definite.
Yeah, I mean, of course, it's a lot of hard work for you to prepare beautiful content. Jagat knows how tough it
Yeah,
is. I mean, it's
yeah,
always difficult, but it needs to be done, Dr. Kunal, okay?
yeah.
And
We'll
and
start
of
on
course,
that already.
whatever you can use the Vidphone platform, whatever help that we can extend to you from Thai, from myself, and the fact that Ashutosh as well will make a big difference in your journey.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay,
He already has made a lot of difference. Yeah.
and yeah, it's a good guy. It's a good guy. Fantastic. So, guys, now I would like to just switch, to I guess 45 minutes into this game. See, one aspect that we want to do is share resources with other founders or listening into. Okay, so your productivity tools. How are you managing the team? What are the ways that you're figuring out the you can't travel and so many restrictions are there right now in growth, right? You
Yeah.
have to grow globally, but you are where you are. Dr. Kunal, you are sitting in Odisha. Jagat is sitting in Bangalore. Vikram, where are you based out of?
Bangalore.
Bangalore, right? But you got to find customers. Your big customers are not in office. You have to use other ways to reach them and connect with them. What it could be LinkedIn, it could be whatever it is. Okay. So, what are the things that you guys are doing? Productivity tools, sales tools, finding new customers, managing teams. Can you guys give a couple of quick pointers on that? Whoever wants to go first,
Yeah,
please.
I would go. One thing that we are doing is that there is, for any security companies, research laboratory based blogging is one of the option. That is just to whatever research that we are doing, we are blogging it and we are keeping it at one place. So whenever we approach someone, we write an email to someone, we send that blog to them. That is one way. Another one is that definitely trying to a lot of cold calls, sorry to say, but I mean it was not before, but now there is no any other option. I cannot keep asking too many people to connect me to someone. It doesn't work all the time. So I'm trying to do as much as cold call as possible, but trying to do it in very constructively. How I do is that, for example, last year there were big data breaches. One was for uh, some e-commerce website. So what I did was, like, I have shared a link here. We have done a complete understanding of how this data breach was done, and then me and my brother, we tried to write a blog on it and how we can mitigate that. And then I tried to reach out to the CISO and CTOs of those companies and explain them, look, these are the ways that we are working. I did not try to tell him that I am working on Hypersign, but I told him these are the ways you could probably solve your issue. So because one of the hack was due to access right management again, so that somehow connected with us. So this is one way that I can share from the tech side. I'm not that good in the sales. Probably I'll just take feedback from you guys how I can improve on the sales and that side.
Yes. So, if I may
Yes,
go,
yes.
so
Yeah, please.
yeah, so basically, what we have done, we have a team of biotechnology. So this is mostly a research-based team. We have one person who is very good with all this management of how to get the customers and how to do all of that. So Anshuman, so he is right now in Bangalore. So he is going to talk, and it's the same as what he said, that it's all cold calling currently, because, and also sadly, what has also happened, majority of the people are working from home. So that crowd that we initially had, that will go for a lunch from office, is now a little bit dissipated. So right now they're coming back. Some of the co-working spaces are open. So we are looking to talk with them, and maybe if we can supply their canteens initially. So that is how we are going to take it forward.
Awesome, Dr. Kunal. Yes, I mean, so important to have things opening up and life back to normal, restaurants back to normal, and that's when your product also will grow. But look, I think what you're doing is amazing. I wish you also all the very, very best, also personally. Okay, it's a great thing that you're doing. Fine, please,
Thank you.
Jagat.
I mean, for me, the reason I have, to be honest with you, again, Vidphone is pretty much is a lot of what I use. I think even Vijetha knows. Whenever I'm conferencing, I'm using Room/Jagat. If I'm doing webinars, I'm using Vidphone. People, the investors are scheduling my calls from my Vidphone platform, on the calendar link. So it's really, 90% of my work is on Vidphone. I mean, to be honest with you, it helps me generate leads, and most of it is that. Apart from Vidphone, of course, I'm always an Asana guy. I've been using Asana since 2011. It's been 10 years I've been using that platform. My favorite platform. I use Asana. The team's on Asana. That's it. I mean, we keep it very basic. Typically that, and of course you have Google, Excel sheets and stuff like that. That's in terms of the tools that typically, that we keep it very simple and small. I think the resources in terms of insights on sales, I think that's something that people should now start looking at. And that's what I think if I speak something on that, maybe it'll add value to both, Kunal and Vikram. I think all of us know, right? I mean, cold calls don't work. I don't know. I think Vijetha is like the god. I mean, he's also been doing a lot of sales. I've sold, about 10 years. I've sold to some large companies, sold to startups. And now, of course, we are getting back into our, kind of with the new product, differentiation and stuff. Obviously, go a lot more aggressive. Cold calls, I don't think are going to work, guys. Don't do it. Just build a pull. Try and drive pull into your website. Don't push it. I think then, and the way you drive pull is by content, and both of you have like really good, kind of high level areas, right? One is security, and the other being, meatless. Uh, that there are, you can, there's no dearth of content there. You can just, in fact, I can also give you some insights on how to get 100 topics for your contents. Like, you can just sit for about 1 hour, and so I have a framework. You can actually build out 100 content topics within 1 hour. So the main problem of creating content is that I don't have anything. I don't have like a lead time. Like I don't have some, done. That's because you don't have topics. When you sit to do content, you think, okay, what do I write about, right? Doesn't work like that. Content doesn't work like that. So in one shot, like even if you see the last time we did a bunch of stuff, all of this happens over one shot. So I kind of plan the entire thing. Like I plan like 3 months what we want to do, right? So once you have that, then the content becomes easy because you have your topics. You just go, you just start moving. But try and get more of an inbound module. I think Kunal, you have a huge opportunity. I don't know how many other companies are doing it. I think quite a few people starting off now. You think?
Yeah, it's quite a few people are starting off now. Yeah.
So we can differentiate now. We try and have some kind of flavor that's not flavor. I mean flavor in the sense something there. That
I got it.
We're all working on that. Even Vidphone, we look to what is that one thing that people remember by, right? So let's all work on that. And that will happen once we start doing more interactions with our audiences. Build your tribes. And that's the only thing I think Vijetha also, we talk about this all the time, right? And Vijetha helps me all the time, trying to push me all the time. I think that's the most important thing, to build that tribe, a bunch of, and because we're not Coca-Cola, we're not, Google. It's really about the founder. I think it's really about the founder. People buy because they know me. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
I think Vijetha and of course people buy because of Vijetha also, but also the Thai brand is big. So when you're a larger company, you have both working for you. But when you're a startup, you got nothing. How do we expect to grow? I mean, that's the reason we do so much of content, because I know that one is of course that it's a lot of value I think there's a lot of value, right? People come here, we exchange ideas. So many people are coming in, right? That's important. But more importantly, it's also a content format for us. So happy to connect here. We should do it. Security, you just need like 3 high-level content buckets, what we're talking about. And 2 times a day, 2 times a week, or 3 times a week, you have one thing each, right? Similarly with meatless. I think with meatless, with Kunal, I think one thing I want to understand, are you targeting people who eat meat or people who don't eat meat?
No, we are targeting people who eat meat, yeah. Those who don't eat meat, we have also done a small pilot. So those who don't eat meat, they're like, oh, this is not good for us.
I'm just curious, because I'm a vegetarian generally. So I was just seeing the chicken and I was thinking, okay, should I kind of, it's interesting. The leg piece always looks good, right?
Yeah, but it tastes like chicken. So then it's a little bit acquired taste for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, interesting.
But nice,
what about productivity tools, right? You all have, very small teams. You all have to still do a lot. You have to achieve a lot, right? You want to generate lakhs and crores of business, $1 million, whatever it is, right? That's your goal. That's your ambition. So how do you scale up? How do you make this happen?
Let me take this first.
Yeah,
I can take this time if you don't mind. Then you can take it on. Obviously, now the one thing that we are doing a lot is focusing on our systems. We like to be a small team, especially we don't know next year. The news that came, it's how long is it going to be to go to normal? It's 7 years or something like that. But I think you're seeing in the news. I don't know how many of you saw it. So we want to be always a very lean team, which means your systems need to take over. So we focus on ConvertKit. We have very strong email campaigns going out. That's main thing. I think for all businesses, email is number one. Second thing is we use something called Canva. I use it extensively for design because it helps me as a founder, helps me do stuff just creatively, helps me get the message out. Right? Second is mockups. We use something called mockups, MOQUPS. I'll just put it. I think it's mockup.com, which is for all kinds of prototyping. So there's always building applications and interfaces, so that it really helps me put together things fast. Mockups. Take a paid account. I think it's worth it. Even Canva, I recommend that, because for all your social and your creatives, you don't have to depend on a designer. Just use Canva, spend about, $15 a month, whatever. You can just, put out creatives. So I found these two, for me as a founder, is very, very useful because I can do design in terms of creatives, the graphic design, and also do web and mobile app, some kind of UI and stuff. Apart from product, tech, and sales, all the other stuff we do. I like to keep that. These are my main tools right now I'm using. Yeah. Over to you guys.
Asana also, right, Jagat, if you're not mistaken?
Definitely. Asana, I swear by Asana. In fact, Asana, you look at, I just want to mention, we've been using Asana for 10 years now. And I've been using it since 2011. And trust me, all the people in our team, I think even, everyone, even if you're remotely associated, have an account with us with Asana. And, we haven't paid them a single rupee. feel sad. That's the flip side of SaaS, right? I mean, you just keep it free and look at that. I mean, I use their tool every day. We don't start the day without Asana. We don't end the day without Asana. And for 10 years we have done it, and we haven't paid Dustin Moskowitz and Justin like $1. So
Actually, same goes for my team. I mean, not with Asana, more on the developer side. I have tons of developer tooling. So one of them, like before I was using paid ones, but now completely because we are open source platform now, open source project. So GitHub has become like it is now. It has a lot of features. So if you are smart enough, you don't need any other tooling apart from GitHub. It has everything related with development and DevOps, and even project management up to some extent. But for project management, I use Trello at this point until my project goes to that level. So I just wanted to add Trello in whatever you said. But I agree with Asana, and I've used it in my previous companies, and I was like kind of now kind of shocked that it is for completely for free. I mean, we have not. Yeah, I mean that same goes for GitHub, isn't it? Like 10
GitHub,
years.
of course. So GitHub, I think it's all more of an open source flavor to it always.
Yeah.
So that's accept. But when you look at Asana, so Asana was started by one of the co-founders of Facebook, right? A guy called Dustin Moskowitz, who did actually a lot of the growth for Facebook. Like he was like Zuckerberg. Like there were four guys, right? So Sean Parker, Zuckerberg, Chris Hughes, and this guy, Dustin Moskowitz. Dustin was the guy, the real hustler. Actually, he's the guy who went to every college and he set the whole Facebook culture. The beer, inverted beer drinking, and crazy guy. And he started with another Google engineer called Justin Rosenstein. And the name itself, you see Asana, right? So it's to do with yoga. And these guys they're I think kind of evolved, right? So they've intentionally kept it free. They need not have. And I think that goes to show he was the youngest billionaire in the world before before Evan Spiegel. And I think right from there, their mission has been to help companies. So I think about 10 licenses are free or something like that. So it's really cool what they're doing. They're helping us like a lot. Yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting.
But I
No,
got
I think
like some of the tools that you just suggested, like mockups.com. I'm definitely going to try that out.
I think it's very useful too. Spend a few hours getting familiar with the interface because it's something like a Photoshop kind of thing where you can do interfaces.
I think Jagat, you have used it for those idea map, mind mapping, mind mapping.
I use different tool for mind maps. That's like different. I use sometimes MindNode or Simple Mind, one other tool. But this is specifically for like this kind of web interfaces, or if I want to. So Akhil also sometimes we kind of work on it and just get creative.
Okay.
But I think for founders it's good because you can be in control of how your app looks.
Yeah. And Canva is something also very, very useful for making your creatives and graphics and all that. Beautiful, fantastic. Vikram, anything else that you want to share? If anyone, now that you're talking about these productivity tools, what else?
I mean, I just wanted to add on to that. Trello is what I use for
No, I
project.
think that's all covered already. So
Yeah,
nothing
of
from my
course.
side on this. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, beautiful. So guys, we are on exactly almost 1 hour since we started. So what I would like now to have now is any asks that you have from the audience. Remember, it's on Facebook, it's on YouTube, and of course, Jagat and the Vidphone team are making sure that it is also going to be, immortalized on the Vidphone TV. So is there an ask? Is there an ask? Are you looking for teams? Are you looking for funding? Are you looking for customers? Very, very specifically, you can put out a few asks, guys, to the audience. Go for it.
Honestly, I would like to just ask for more MVPs, for basically doing some more POCs with as many people as possible. So anyone who is interested to remove password and would like to try out our passwordless login solution, and I'm happy to connect with them.
Okay, fantastic. Nice. Thank you, Vikram. Dr. Kunal, your ask to the world. What help do you want from them? I think Jagat, there's a challenge, right? Jagat, why did you talk? Yeah.
So my ask, I think the most important thing I think
you are looking for funding also, right? I mean, anything, whatever you want to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, I think of course we're looking at funding, we're looking to raise, so we're talking to some multiple investors. That's a separate thing. But I think for this, our startup community here in Bangalore and the overall the India community, I think now it's all over the place. And the thing is that I think everyone spends some time if you can volunteer for these small community stuff. I think see if we can do that. Trust me, I'm not doing this only for my benefit. I know it's on Vidphone. It's better than doing it on other American platforms. But let me tell you that each of you guys, end up building your own brands in your tribes. So I think one thing is, let's all build together, because I think that's really important, right? It's a lonely journey otherwise. I've been doing this for a while. And trust me, for me, things are exciting because we are able to collaborate with so many people. And, the good things there is like, sometimes when I'm feeling down, I have somebody there, and someone's had a hard day. I can always talk to them. I think that's what you need, right? That's really important. And that doesn't come if people are being very measured and calculated about, everything. So I think, and we have been saying this quite a few times. I think we're very happy that what we did, I think a lot of people on the founders feed now so good that an active, thriving community. There are so many, great articles being shared, and I think it's good, but we need more, right? We need a lot more. So, Vikram and Kunal, I think both of you be more involved with this community. You have Vijetha, who's, kind of heading us, and I think more people also. So let's, capitalize and grow together. That's what I got to say.
Perfect. And thank you. Thank you very much, guys. Dr. Kunal, are you able to
thank
talk?
you.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
Okay, sure.
I can. Yeah. So yes, I think that is the message that Jagat gave, that build the tribe and connect more. And I think for us, actually, especially based out of Odisha, and also connecting with people is one of the main challenges and something that we need to look at. And this building of a brand is something that we'll now concentrate on. As everybody told, it's quite important. Also, we understand that. So maybe we'll start our digital presence. We'll expand our digital presence, and with Vidphone also we can start something.
Superb. So, guys, listen. It is 6 o'clock. It's a Sunday evening. It is important to rest, spend some time with the family, rejuvenate, because working, sales, building product, not easy. I know it takes up a lot of your energy, a lot of your time. And as founders, there will be stress, there will be worries, and etc. etc. Funding is required, customers are required, you to take care of the teams. But listen, stay the course, because the opportunity is there. Things are opening up. I think I always say this, that it is a world of opportunities. Find partners, build partnerships. I think as Jagat is saying, build the tribe, build the community, pay it forward. Bring more and more people to work with you and help people out. And great stuff, guys. Thank you so much, and all the very best.
Well, I just want to say one thing,
thank you.
last point. And because you're saying tribes, the thing is that your vibe attracts your tribe. And so check your vibe.
Yeah,
that's true.
Superb, guys.
All right.
Take care. And just to quickly say, we have been doing a lot of episodes. This was the 18th episode of Startup Sunday. We have done 32 episodes of League of Extraordinary Startups.
More than 30.
More than 30. Then we have the Startup Stories. We have the Vidphone show. Of course, from Thai, recently we had Jagat also come in, and the TV Thai, the mixers, the IoT Matrix. He was there at the Thai Global Summit.
Yeah.
So this is not just about Thai. What I'm trying to say is that take advantage of the ecosystem. Okay.
Yeah.
Be someone who can really showcase well, communicate well, speak well, and has a very compelling use case as to why people should use you, adopt you, buy your product, etc. etc. And all the very best, guys. Thank you so much once again.
Yeah.
thank you very much.
Thanks, Vijetha. Thanks a lot.
All right. Yeah.
Have a good
Take
day.
care.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Yes. Bye.